sign in? Has that worked
On
for
the
you?
on the new site? No,
Okay. So
because I only had the link for the meeting. I didn't have the link for the site when you sent it to me, I don't believe.
so it was it should have been a separate email. So let me,
Didn't
it
see
looks
that.
like you did activate it.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we can look into that.
Okay. Well, then I must have.
Afterwards.
I did sign on to choose which template to use.
Because I already chose your template. Maybe it was just to show. We can figure it.
I had sent a response. I looked at all the templates and did send you a response about that.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna go straight through. So when you log in, I'm actually under your account. So at the top right, you see your email.
Right.
So I'm logged in as if I was you, and I'm just going to go through what you would see. So when you log in, you will see this site overview. As you see, as I scroll down, you will start to see that I go through overview, stats, form responses. So this is on the left-hand side is another way for you to get to where you need to go. And as you go through the website, you'll start to see that you'll have more criteria. So the website right now, when you log in and we publish, as you can see, your URL is not available because you're not published yet. So right now we just have it as the organization's name. Eventually this will say the website and it will say published. When you start to have people go to your website, the site visits is actually what you'll start to see a little graph form and see how many people visit your website in the past 7 days, yesterday. So you'll be able to actually look at that.
Right.
Form responses. So you can create a form on the website. And this is
my question. Are you not importing current forms and everything over?
So if you have a form, let's see here.
I mean, because basically the functionality of my website, which widgets I have on it and which forms I have on it are all good.
Yeah.
And I was hoping everything would just, most of that stuff to recreate it. A lot of those were created when it was first set up too. So the thought of recreating them is a little daunting.
So that's where I come in and I will help. So we'll discuss what I need to move over for you. Does that make sense? So if
sure, it's easy, everything.
Yeah. So yeah.
Done.
So like for example, let's see here.
Yeah.
Where do you have a form? Register, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will create this form for you. So what we can do as well.
Basically we have registration and contact as the built-in forms.
Built-in forms, yeah.
And then I've added in our religious ed and stuff, every year I update links to forms for them, but they're not incorporated into the website. They're just separate links.
Yeah, that's actually something that our OSV hub. So when you log into the OSV hub, we actually have a form section that I can show you how to use. It's really simple. But our forms, you can actually create PDF files. So with the forms on this website, if you create a form, this is the only area where you will be able to look at the forms, and you can only do an export to CVS. So only an Excel file. You can't. So that's why we recommend moving you over to the OSV hub. And so that won't be, because I can create the forms for you and create those links on your website.
You utilize the same for our envelopes, and I have a hub for OSV for the envelopes.
Yep, envelopes, forms, website billing. So you'll see it
all be together. So I do have a hub established.
Yes.
Because I used it already for the envelopes.
Yep. You already have it established, and when
the email's wrong on there, can that be updated?
This is your login. When you go into the OS, we can
Okay.
change
But
it.
we don't even have that email anymore.
We can change it. Yep, but that's just
I mean,
the email.
I must have it memorized because I use it. So,
Yeah. Yep. So that we just wanted to show you that you do have a place to do forms, but here,
right.
if you have 4 different forms, all the forms will kind of clash together and you won't be able to organize them. So
Right.
it is a
Now,
spot.
I'm quite content with just having those 2 main ones will come to me.
Okay. Yeah.
And then continue doing religious ed and other stuff as I do it, because I also do a lot of forms through our flock program.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So we have it on the left-hand side, and then we basically have it again on the upper right-hand corner. So sites, you only have one website, so there's really no need to click on it because that is if you want to go to a different website that you
Sure.
have. Stats, same place.
And I'm sorry, I have another form response question.
Yeah, okay.
The form vault that exists in the old website, will that not be on the new site, a form vault like that?
No, essentially this is the form vault, which is why
Okay.
we'll probably create your forms on the OSV hub. That way you can download them as a PDF file like Radius.
Okay, yeah, because generally the responses I do PDF out.
Yep, exactly.
Onto responses and handing them to the right people and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so
if it's not easier, this is going to be a bummer.
Yeah,
I'm very used to the old one, so
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming it'll get some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, of dragging and dropping in, you'll see. So when you click the preview button, this will essentially actually take you to previewing your website. So if you want to see all 3 different forms, so right now we have your template that you chose, the desktop view, iPad, tablet view, cell phone view, and then you can actually click and see the different styles. So as you can see here, there we have a little Apple, which is the iPhone, and then the little Android, so if you wanted to see the different views, that will change for you as well. One thing that will look once we get a little further in, as you see here, it created a little menu at the top left right corner, and it's different from the desktop view because the desktop view is bigger. So based on the screen, it starts to shrink things, and you will probably need to adjust and check and make sure that the telephone view is the view that you like it for your audience. So that is
does that tend to dominate it? Like if it looks good on the phone, it'll look good on everything?
No, if it looks good on the desktop, so you'll start to move things on the desktop, and you'll just want to check the iPad and make sure it's to your liking, and then the iPhone, because as you see here, your menu is at the top right corner, and you'll be able to choose different kinds of menu views. So we'll just want to make sure that whatever's
my question is, if I'm resetting it to look good on the phone, is that going to affect then the appearance on the desktop?
No. So if
it has separate for each one.
Yeah. So once you start to do things on the desktop, it will transfer over to the iPad and the iPhone. But once you start to do things on just the iPhone, it'll be just for the phone. If you start to do things just for the iPad, it'll be just for the iPad.
Okay, that's what I didn't know if it was one universal setting and you had to settle for it, but you could actually have different for each device. Okay.
Yep. And then here, once you log in, you'll just want to click edit, and it'll take you into the editor. So on Radius, at the very top on Radius, you see pages, forms, you see all of the above at the very top. So essentially your top menu is on your side. So you'll see pages, your widgets. So we'll go through all of this together. But as you see, the difference with Radius is you go to pages and you create what you want in a little text box. Here, you now see your website and what it looks like, and you'll be able to just edit. So if this picture in the background we don't like, I would just click on it and we can just change it. So we'll start to go through each thing here, but as you see, you don't have to publish in order for it to make a change. We'll start to make changes as you go and then just republish it. So I'll show you what that entails. So I'm going to go on my view because you're not published yet, so you don't see some of the things that that I have. So we're going to go on my side. Okay. So a couple of redundant buttons too as well on the site. So right here we see the home, newcomers, registration. So this is the template. Everything can be changed, but right now the base, we have the home, newcomers, our faith. So if you click on any of these, it will take you to newcomers. If you click on this side menu, it'll take you to the same place as well. So kind of a menu up top here, menu across that you can also click on, and then another menu that we'll eventually go to is pages. So there's essentially 3 ways that you can go to your different pages. So at the top, on the actual website, and on pages. So home, and then here is another place where you would preview desktop, the tablet, and then the iPhone or the Android. So that's where you go across. The search bar. So this search bar, if you're kind of looking to maybe see what a widget does, and you'll know what a widget means soon, but if you're needing to
I've used widgets with the old son.
Oh, yeah. So if you're looking to add a menu, here are some articles. If you're wanting to, dive into it a little deeper, you can search. Let's see here, the little icon. This is if you want to, little icon preview link. If you want to copy this and share it to, for example, the pastor, he doesn't have a login to log in. We can always create one for him if you would like. But if you don't want that, you can always copy the URL and send it over to him and say, hey, take a look at the website, see if it's to your liking. And he'll be able to preview that. As you saw, I just copied it and I pasted it in, and it took me to preview the website. So that's an option. Here's the same exact stats from the beginning. Editor language, if you spoke a different language, we can get the design pages in Spanish. You'd be able to choose your editor language for the site. So up at the top here are, go back to desktop view.
One of the old things before, there was always the primary page and then the sidebar. Does it not do that anymore? Do you not have the sidebar? Like every page had 2 parts before.
You can create it. So if you need a sidebar.
I was just curious.
Yeah, so that can be added. Yep, it's in the widgets. So I'll show you that too. But yes, that can be created if you want we can kind of make it a little different and unique, and I can we'll talk about it. Okay, that's fine.
Bill? What I would say is if you want to email me the information, and I can possibly incorporate it into a little blurb in the bulletin, kind of anonymously, not by name, because we don't do individuals, things like that within the flock note, but in the bulletin in the past, we have a parishioner in need of this and looking to hire someone to, so I can phrase it into a general. So the best way is to email me the basic facts. Yes. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Or you know what? Actually, what I'd most likely do is have them call the office and then refer them to your personal rather than publish your personal. Okay. Yeah. Poochie. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. And you have the email, correct? All right. Correct. Perfect. Okay. Poochie, just like a dog. It's really Priscilla, so that's my incognito. Okay. And to your father, it's always Mrs. Malone. He won't use the short names. But all right, bye. Sorry about that.
No worries.
That's what happens when it's a one-person office.
Yep.
Anyway, okay.
So there was a little icon where we went over the
Yep.
different links. Next is the show site comments. So if you had another editor on here, if they wanted to leave comments behind, that would be something that you could use. So the next three are where it's a little different from radius. So as you
Yeah.
saw, it made a little ellipses. So
Yep.
as you make changes, I click on here, learn more. Let's do edit. And as you'll see that the little ellipses will save. It's saving the changes
So it
automatically for it.
lifetime updates it.
Yep,
basically.
yep. So as you're making changes in radius, you would have to either save it or publish it in order for it to go through. As you start to edit, I already have edited the website. And then I can go back if I need to. So I click the back button and now it's back to learn more. And then it's saving it again, saving the changes. So those three are really important. But once you make a change, if you go to newcomers and I wanted to go forward, so I went to newcomers, it's saving it just in case. But if I go back to home, as you can see, I can no longer go forward and backwards. So if you move to a different page and you accidentally, oh, I made a mistake, you can't go back because it already saved those changes that you made.
Right.
So now I can't go forward or back to the edit of what I did. Okay, so those three, it'll save as you go. Once let's say I made all these changes and it's saved for me. Once we publish, it'll say republish right here in this red button.
Yep.
So all of your changes that you made, you want to republish it so that it's live. So that, yep. So if you make these changes and the edit button is no longer there, it's saved here, but it never was published or republished. Yeah. This little button right here is your HTML. You probably won't use it. It'll take you into the actual code of the website. So if you ever have anything,
I don't mess with code.
Yeah. So we'll probably won't use that. And then here is the exact same thing from your home page and from the top if you need to view. So there are lots of different places to view. You'll just click back to editor. Here you can copy your link again to share for someone to preview it or check it out. Here's the help center. This one, this is more like if you need to contact someone for help, but you have our email and our phone number for church websites. So you would just contact us. And then your home button will take you back to the beginning where it had the overview, basically when you log in. So your home button will take you back. Any questions at the top?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go now to editing the actual website. So we're going to go down on the left-hand side. So design, this is where you make your default settings. So your global text, and you don't have to change this because it's already set because of the template that you chose. But these are changeable. So your paragraph example, whenever you add a paragraph, So
Mhm.
for example, this is a paragraph.
Mhm.
The font is Source Sans. So that is what it's set to. And at 16, the color, it looks like it's light gray. So maybe we'll want to change it to black. So once you start to add a paragraph, it'll be black. So
Mm.
I'll show you how to add that. But this is the default settings. If you want it to be bolded every time that you add a paragraph, you can do that. And then as you go down, when you start to go into, this is, I believe, header 1. So this is what header 1 looks like, the biggest font size. And as you, when you click on it, we'll go through here, but here you see it's header 1. When you click on the font, it'll start to open up what you can do to this title. So here we have header 1, header 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that when you change it, it's the default that is set on the website. Header 1, header 2, header 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is where you make your default settings for font and different headers. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, and then you go back, close out of here. Here's a little arrow to go back. Global buttons. So as of right now, this is the default button, the square green, as you can see. So
Yeah.
your church colors are a little bit darker green, maybe.
Yeah.
So we could change that to the darker green that you would like to use for the church.
Yeah, it's more
Kind
of
of
a
a,
forest green.
yeah, forest green. So you would want to choose that and change it to the forest green. Um, you can change the different kinds of buttons. So if you wanted a more circular, you would change. So whenever you add a new button, that's the default. The button text, so it's learn more. It's the same as the paragraph Source Sans at 18. As you can see, the font color is white. When you hover over the font color, do you see how it goes just kind of, it goes to the picture? So that is where the hover background color, there is no color, so it just goes into the picture. If you wanted more round corners, you could do that as well and change that. If you wanted an image for your button, that is also an option, but that is your button settings. And so as you make these changes, that when you add a paragraph in or a button in, that is the default. But if you want to make a specific change to that specific button that you had just added in, you can make changes to that button too and make it personalized.
Okay.
So it's not just the default, it's just whenever you add it in, that is what it's set to, but it can be changed.
Now, is that not where you'd also do to link the button to a file or something, or?
Nope. Well, once
Because
you,
before within the button was the dialogue to also link that button.
So you'll start to see as we go here, when I click on it, a little pop-up comes and you see here, learn more.
There you go.
And then where I want to change it to St. Joseph, a little pop-up, I can, start to change the text. So we'll go through that as well.
Okay.
Global images. So this is when you add an image, you can choose the different layouts. Border, if you want to add a border to it, as in this little gray area is the border, whether you want it to be a thicker. If you want it to have a shadow, so that is your settings for your image when you add an image. Global rows. So you'll start to see as we go through here, do you see this little row right here? The little blue row? As you start to go down, you'll see that this is a row. When you add a row, it's basically adding, so this one is a 2 row. They have 2 columns, so they could divide it evenly. And here's another row where they have added, and you'll start to see the different options. But as you can see, when you start adding rows, you're adding content. So here's another row, and they just wanted to add the mass times. Here's another little small row to just add stay connected, another row to add these 3 buttons, another row to add. So as you see here, when you add a row, you're adding content. So rows right now are actually, the background is no color, so they're white. You can add a color in here. So I know that the church website kind of has a kind of mustardy color. You could,
Yeah, that was the template. It wasn't.
Yep, exactly. So if you wanted to make it a little colorful, you can change the background. So when you add a row and it was black, it would add black rows.
Okay.
Default spacing. We'll kind of go through this one. This one, it has to do with, let's see here. Let me show you an example. So spacing, when you add a widget, you will always have spacing. And we'll leave the default as what it is, because you can always change it within the actual widget that you're using. So spacing, what that means is it'll move it
I mean,
up.
I have a lot of widgets on my front page now.
Yeah. So
and those are all important. And more people just do my front page than ever go into the other parts. I hate to admit it, but I have a lot of widgets so that it's accessible from as soon as they get there, kind of.
Yeah, gotcha.
Especially the live streaming is really important.
Yes. So that is what spacing you'll start to see as we go through the widgets itself. Site background, right now we don't have it. So site background for all pages. So home, newcomers, our faith is set to white. You can change that color if you want to as well. Per page, you can change the color per page. So newcomer, if you wanted that to be for screen, and then you wanted the other one to be our faith, you wanted it to be mustard yellow, you can do that. Change the color. Site layout. So this is where you can change the site. Right now we have it, which is the most common one, the top, or the navigation bar at the top. You can have it. You can have it at the left-hand side to where it's expandable or it's not expandable. Here's the iPad where we could have an expandable menu or the top bar header for an iPad as well. As one thing that you'll notice is if your screen gets smaller, you'll start to see that it'll create a second row. So sometimes, it gets a little confusing and you're like, I don't want it to be a second row. It's just your screen. So if you have a bigger screen, it'll go across. If someone's using a little MacBook, they're going to have a really smaller screen and might have 2 rows. So that's
Mac bias there.
Yeah. And then the mobile, you can do the expandable or a different kind of view of an expandable. So that's your default right there. So that I believe that's something that you might want to go through as we start to edit your website. We'll probably give you some time to see if you want to check those global settings out, because we'll start to add things to your website and it'll be to what it's set to. So if you like the font and the colors, that's fine, but I would maybe change the colors and make sure it's to your liking. So that might be something you want to look at when you log in. Pages. Alrighty, so this is where you're going to add a radius. You add a new page. This one's a little different. So pages, this is where you don't have to save. You're just adding it straight to your website and you just have to republish. So let's see here.
Yeah, I have some dead pages on mine now.
Yeah, and whatever you don't want to add, we don't have to add.
All right, yes, yeah.
Let me go to pages on my notes here. Okay, pages. So when you want to add a new page, click on the red new page. So when you add a blank page, it's going to have your default header and footer. So it's not like it's an entirely blank page, but well, just so you can see, test page. I added a test page and added to the bottom, and it's also going to add It's still loading. So the test page, let's see here. Go to home. There we go. So there's the test page. So it
Now, does it automatically put it there, or can you then change
so
its location? Yeah.
It automatically, when you add something new, it automatically brings it to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as you can see, this default is set to, add to more. But if you need to add it test page under newcomers, so newcomers has actually a drop down menu.
So you can just drag and drop there.
Click, drag, and drop. So now newcomers has the test page.
Okay.
If you wanted to do one more than that, you would click, hold, drag it. This is the third option it goes to. So beliefs, and beliefs has more menu options. Oops, let's go back. I dragged and dropped a little too much. Test page, there's the test page. So that is something. So here I just hold it, move it to, as you see the little gray, do you see the little gray? It's showing you where it's going.
Where it's going to drop, yeah.
Yep, where it's going to drop if I move it a little bit more. Okay, so there we're going to add test page so I can show you a couple widgets. So we've added test page. You can also delete. So let's see here, giving. You can also, we're going to delete, because you have Our Faith in Action, contact page. If you wanted to delete, here's the settings. So if you wanted to rename contact, you want to click the little settings, rename. Let's go to let's go to the test page. Rename, hide or show in navigation. So if I wanted to hide it from all, meaning this is a page that you're going to link to Our Faith, you don't want it to be on Our Faith and on your navigation bar. So you would hide from all, and that means that it goes away. You can always go back and show to all again, and it'll pop up right again. You can change it. It can just be the little desktop and tablet, and as you see, it'll do desktop and tablet. It'll show you a little picture of the desktop and the tablet. If you wanted it just for the phone, it'll show you a little phone right at the. So that's how you'll know that it's exited out. Well, let's show all again. If you wanted to duplicate, test page is exactly what you need for Our Faith. So we're going to duplicate it and just change the name. So that's where you can duplicate the page. Lock for client editing. So here's where you might need to add, if someone else was editing, you could lock that and no one else can edit it. You want that to stay as it is until you change it. So you can lock it, but no one can edit it.
I got you. Yeah.
Page URL, if you wanted to see the page URL settings, as you see, it'll have your website link and then it'll be /page test page. So you can always change that. So this one, we'll go back into these settings right here because you probably won't use these as often, but this one is an important one. Set page access. Open to everybody. You can actually do a password protected page or members only.
That's so
yeah. So if you click password protected, you'd set the password and only those that have the password, they'll have a little password section and they'll enter the password to see it. So pages. Let's go back to, we got the test blank page. Page URL is if you want them, for example, to go to your online giving. So When you click on online giving for your website, click here to donate, and it'll take them to the donating site. If you wanted to just link this to the page URL, when they click on online giving, it'll take them straight to the website, the link that you added on to it. So that is also, so if it was online giving, add page, it goes to the bottom. Let's put it underneath test page, drag it and drop. Now it's here, online giving. It's just giving you an external, got it, as an editor. Open a new link, and there it would take you. It'll take the person when they click on it.
Mm.
Next, our services. This is a basic template. It can be used for a About Us page or a ministries page. So that's kind of a page. It's already, I guess, a template for you if you wanted to use that. Contact us. That would probably be the page that you would use for contact us to fill out, a little slip or a potential parishioner wanting to register for the church. And there you could add a map with your address on it. They can open up the app. So that's more of the contact us page. The portfolio, project, and landing pages. These are most commonly used for a home page. So they're just templates ready for you to change. So that little yellow picture, you could change that image. So it's already a template. You can just change the content. So the paragraphs, the pictures.
Will our current library move over?
Yes, we can do that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. And then folder. A folder is used to organize your pages. So if you wanted to create a folder, it would organize your pages on the website. So website, add page. So here's a folder, and that would be more for you if you wanted to
just to look at it, like a quick look.
Yep. So the most commonly ones that you'll probably use is blank, and if you wanted to add a separate website, but mostly blank.
And honestly, I don't think I've added a page in the last 5 years. So
yeah, exactly. So once we get the site going, you'll probably just change the content in the pages. Yep. So we'll delete this one. Okay, so now another, so we'll go back to just go over it again. So we have the rename, hide, duplicate, you can lock. The CEO, I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's the Google algorithm. So if you have any questions, just let us know. Set access, that is if you needed to set access, the password protected. It'll take you straight to there. On the site, see here, you can add languages. If you have any Spanish speakers, you can add a language.
Yeah, I'd like to have that option there. That was one of the reasons for changing. Yep.
So you could, there's different kinds of Spanish, unfortunately. We're the Spanish speakers, we're crazy. There's so many different forms. So with the Spanish translation, so there's a couple things for this. So because it's with Google, and it's a feature translated by Google, when you add new content, let's say I added the feature, add site language, and then I made changes to the website. So those changes won't be translated.
So how do you update the translations?
So it's a little tricky. You would have to actually turn it off and remove the Spanish. So we have let's do this one. So we have it saved. What you would do is have to turn it off. Um,
And
so
then re-put it on.
and then re-put it on. So because then it'll retranslate it. But what we recommend is once we publish your website, if you want to add the Spanish, then here we'll do it. Then
well, you know what? Just if you want to make it, what I would is there the Philippines Tagalog too, because we actually have a lot of Filipinos in our parish. So that I would add Spanish and
I'm not. What do they speak?
I think it's called Tagalog, but it is the Philippines. That's.
Let me see.
I don't see it there. Oh, here's Filipino.
Yeah, Filipino. That's the one. Yep.
That would be the one. There it is.
That would be the one that you would. So let's just go ahead and save it real quickly.
Yeah, just to have those two options would be.
So when you add it, now we know that. So position the site. It's done. So this is where the little locator is for American. It's
and they'd see different flags there.
Yeah, let's just give it a minute because I think it's translating it right now.
Okay. It's kind of cool. That was actually one of the features that appealed to me in making it.
So there you go.
Now it doesn't show you the, oh, how cool. It doesn't show you, when you, on the home page, it doesn't show the options of languages. It'll just automatically.
At the top right?
Yeah.
It'll have it to where on the website you'll be able to change back and forth on the website. So let's preview.
Yeah.
So this is we're previewing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll have the two different little flags, and we can change what that looks like too. You click on the little flag, design, and you can change it. And you see it changed automatically. It's saving, and then once you're ready, you'd republish it. So once we get the site, you'll just want to manage site. So then it'll go up here at the top, manage site languages. We'll want to remove it. Yes, delete. So it's I guess it's not too bad because it's not like you're clicking a lot of settings.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
that's not that hard to do.
Yeah. So that's this add site. So that's awesome. You'll be able to use that. Okay, let's see here. So now let's go into our test page. We did the drag and drop. Now, as you see, the test page added your header. So let's delete this row. So I clicked on the row. This row's here because of the little flags that we just had, and since we deleted it, we're gonna go to settings. Yep. Oh, there we go. There we go. So it says row, delete. There we go. So now we have the header. As you see the row, one thing that I would keep in mind is making sure you can see the header, because if you add anything, if you start to add content, you're adding it to the header, not the
and
bottom.
I like the top row. That's always, to me, that's my go-to. So I don't care what other people like. It's just going to be what I like.
Yeah. And then we have the footer, and then so we'll want to add your what's it called? Your St. Bridget, your can't think of the word, your logo. So we'll add your logo to our site. We'll change it out of our Sunday Visitor. Okay, so test page widgets.
Yay.
So as you start to use some, you'll start to see frequently used. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go down to we'll go to each section because it'll start to add to frequently used. So I don't want to. So popular is a text. So you just click on it, insert here. So here.
Now, does that automatically create that row at the same time?
So when you add a new test page, you're going to have one row added.
Okay. So it's the row's there. All right.
Yep. So if you need to add another row, you can always right click. Here I see row, right click, add row below. There's another
Gotcha.
one. Yep.
Cool.
And there's also a widget so you can add more rows too. But if you just want to right click, it'll give you settings for the row itself.
Mm-hmm.
So paragraph. Here we have paragraph. When you click on it, you can choose, let's see, paragraph. You have your bold, italicized, underline, more. If you wanted to cross it
Mm-hmm.
out, all caps.
Mm-hmm.
There's your colors. Here is your paragraph. Here's the header. So that's the default. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where you'll probably want to go check and make sure it's to your liking. But there you choose if this is a title, there's your title. It's already set to 48, set to the font. New paragraph. If you wanted this to link, this is where you would link it. Add
Mm-hmm.
link to existing page. So here we have newcomers. So if I added it to newcomers, when someone clicks, it's already highlighted. If they click on it, it'll take them to newcomers. So that's cool. So you'll click on link, website URL. If you needed to type in the online giving, here it'll take them. I copied and pasted from your website, the online giving, and it'll open in a new page. So those will probably be the most commonly used. Anchor, if you wanted to have also it take you to an anchor page. So our faith, it'll take basically an existing page is the same thing as an anchor.
Yeah.
Email address. If they click on it, it'll open up an email tab for them to take them to an email. Click to call. Well, I'll show you that one. That one's more of a button on the cell phone. But if they click here, type in the number, it'll dial it on their cell phone. File. This is probably another common one that you'll use. So you'll probably use existing page. So here, existing page, website URL, and file for download are probably the most common ones you'll use when highlighting a text. You'll just select. If you need to upload a new file, you'll upload from your website, or I'm sorry, from your computer. You'll select it, and there you'll see. So here, as you see, there is no OK, apply, done button. You just click the cancel. So then when you click on the link, you'll see that it's still there. You just click the little X. So it's still there. You can remove link, and now it's no longer linked to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Alignment, the different text, line height, you can customize it, double, bulletin points, numbered, your text direction. This one you probably won't use as often. Connecting to data is, your cell phone, but you'll have buttons for that, your email. Clear format, if you just wanted to get back to a regular, back to the line, it'll just clear it for you. Back, undo it all. And then if you're done, confirm. So we're done with the paragraph, but maybe we don't like it as much. So we can just click the red X.
It's gone.
And it's gone. And it's gone. And as you can see, it's still saving it automatically for us. Widgets. Next is image. Here, you just drag it in, insert an image. So we don't really have images, but we'll start to have your images from your website here. But here are some default images that you are allowed to use from your website. You would just upload. And as you start to upload, I'll show you where your images go as well, so you can take a look and see.
So it recreates its own library again.
Yep.
And an image has to go to that library prior to going to the pages. That's what happens now.
Yeah, as you start to add images, it'll be added, or we can just add them ourselves under content. So I'll show you content. Content is more of your library.
Yeah.
Icon, if you wanted to add an icon as in an image, choose your icon, and if they wanted to click it, and it'll take them somewhere. So icon, delete that image. Click to call, that's the one that you'll probably end up using. The little call us button, it's set to the default, so that's what it's doing. 260. You can just pick the number, call us, or that would be,
Sorry.
XYZ. Yep. So we don't like it.
Yep.
We'll click the red X.
I actually am in the middle of Zoom training for our website. Can you email it me possibly, or? Perfect. And then, okay, because I need that before I can set up the streaming for it too. Yeah. Okay. That'd be great. Thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Real services take precedence.
Yeah. And so map is, you'll probably not use this because you'll have your contact us, but here you'll add your address and there's the Google Maps.
Yeah.
So that's if you wanted to use it on a different page, there's the widget.
Yeah.
Image slider. So this is more of a slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
It'll already add images for you. Here's a little sidebar if you wanted to add that. So when you click on it, you choose your pictures design. So here you can remove the button if you wanted to. So here's the layout that it chose. If you did not want, if you wanted to write a caption or just you wanted the images.
Mm-hmm.
So as you start to see, when you click on the widget, you'll have all these different options to do. So width, if you wanted to make it smaller, height, if the pictures are taller, more portrait than landscape. If you wanted it to display the full image, it'll make it to where it'll be grayed out, but you'll be able to see the entire image. So it'll either zoom it in for you.
But you can adjust the size of that frame anyway, right?
Right, exactly. And then you would adjust, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yep, there you would adjust it.
Because that's frequently what in terms of using the widgets, it's either connecting to videos for the diocese, or most things, if it's a flyer of an event, I will PDF it or JPEG it and put it up as an image.
Yeah, so that one.
And it used to be a pain in the neck to get it centered right. So actually that looks a little more user friendly in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Photo gallery.
Yeah.
This is a photo gallery if you wanted to just have them see a couple images that they can be buttons to click on. It can just be pictures for them to see. There you go to design. Again, you choose your layout of how you want the pictures to be shown. If you wanted to have it more pictures, no content. The text, this is a little place for you to move the text.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, so here we moved it up. I want to move it down. It goes down. Or if you want to center it again, centered. Number of columns if you wanted more images. So here you have 4. You can add more images or
when it's
text.
Displayed that way, can they click to just enlarge the single picture too? Or that doesn't happen automatically?
Like if they click on it to go somewhere?
Like if they click on one of those 4 images, will it just make that image bigger to look at? Or it will always be?
Not for photo gallery.
Okay, that's what I was curious.
Yep, photo gallery is one for you to just take a look at. Just look at pictures and click if you wanted them to be buttons.
Yeah.
And then we don't like it, so we're going to the red button, the red close. Button, you can add it wherever. It'll just add a little button for you. Text, if you wanted to link that button. Next, HTML. So this one, if you are needing to add a video, we can probably help you with this one. This is what we'll probably do when moving over your content, because it's a little bit of coding. And so we'll help you with, you kind of have to add a couple.
Well, and
codes.
sometimes the diocese sends us a full code, so we
Yeah.
can just put that and cut and paste into it, which is handy.
Perfect. Yeah, you would just copy and paste your HTML, and if it was a video, it would just create a little pop-up, and you can click play. So this is probably what you'll end up using for an HTML if it's not YouTube, because we do have a widget that is specifically for YouTube.
And we use our YouTube.
Yeah, so that would be
our YouTube and Facebook are our main social media that we
perfect.
utilize.
So video under media is probably one you'll use too.
Mhm.
So HTML, here's a large title. So if you wanted to just do a large title, you'll probably want to use this one.
Mhm.
As you'll start to see, it's pretty self-explanatory, and then you'll have little, so we'll go down to divider is if you wanted to make room. So here we have a little divider line.
Mhm.
And you can choose the different animation for that divider. So you have your paragraph and you wanted to divide it. So that's a little divider for you, different options to choose from. Spacer, if you have so much content and you just kind of want to divide it up, it just adds a row essentially. And there's nothing. It's just a little space.
Yeah, got you.
Yep. So you'll see here it's blank. We'll close out, close out, close out, close out. Next, divider, file. So this one's probably one that you'll use, download file. You would just click here to upload the file, and you can call it whatever you'd like. Design, it's set to default, so you can choose what kind of button you'd like. You can change the default from it, the different colors. Revert to global design. So that means if you end up not liking what you chose, just click it and it'll go back to the default setting. Next, let's see here. List. This one is pretty neat. You don't have to have an image. A lot of the times we have used this for staff. So you add a picture of your staff, and if you have a little paragraph for your staff, design, you can choose the layout, the title of it, and then we'll start to go in with the text. So this one's pretty nice. Like I said, yeah, we use this a lot for build your list. And there you would start to see that we can change the image for list 1 as you start to list 1. As you click out of it, you can always move this as well. But you'll see here, it already changed the content for me. If you need to add a link, this is the add the link. Here's item link. Change link name. It'll start to change for you. So that one's nice for a staff, to show the staff. This is basically a 1 row. If you want to add 1 column, 2 columns is the one that I showed you. That divides it up. So it's actually a row, but it's 2 columns.
Right.
So that's what 1, 2, and 3 and 4 already for you. It adds a row, but it already has specific, it's evenly spread out for you to add. Countdown, if you wanted to add a countdown, you're more than welcome to. We have a countdown. So it'll do a little countdown. That's fun.
That is fun. I saw it listed there and I thought, play with that one.
Yeah. Let's delete a couple rows here, keep it clean. Next is a table. If you wanted to create a table for some reason and show as you delete, you'll start to see that it goes away. And so does the row itself.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you start to add more, it'll, but as you see, now I only have 2, number and first name, and it only has 2 rows.
Mm-hmm.
And you can change that color.
Mm.
So as you see here, when you click, content is pretty much, if you haven't noticed, it's already, your content, what you're adding to the widget, and then design is always going to be the colors, the layout of it. So you'll be able to change that as well. Next, one of my favorites is accordion. I like this one a lot. It's really neat. It allows to do like a little drop down menu, so you can add more as you go along. So it's neat. I did this for a church, and they had like different sports options, and so they wanted to add something to show their different sports and for boys and girls. So accordion. Let's see here. Text and image. This is kind of like the list, but it actually is just one for you. So if you just needed to add, this is also one option to use again for your staff. If you didn't want to do the list, you could do a paragraph with an image. The list is nice because you don't have to have an image. This one is obviously having you have an image since it's a text and an image. Tabs. If you wanted to, for them to click on different tabs, as you see here, once you start to click, this is tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. You'll just click through it and it starts to change it for you. You can change the design, so the different views of the tabs. So there is that. Let's close out of this one. Copyright. If you needed to copyright an image, it's just the simple copyright. Whatever you're copywriting, you can add that little. It already has it ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. We went through the basics. Media, same thing. Image slider, photo gallery, the icon. Here's the video. So you'll just drag it in here and just copy and paste the YouTube link. If you use these other options, you can add those links. But this specific widget is for these 3 programs.
All right. Now, the service we use for our live streaming, which is currently on our front page.
Mm-hmm. That one would be the HTML.
Okay.
Yep. We'll add the
It's
HTML.
going to be important to have that one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people use that every week.
For sure. Media, audio. Do you do podcasts?
We do. We have a gentleman that records the readings every week, and
Okay. So this would be for a podcast. Do you know what he uses for the podcast?
Well, it's they come to me as MP4s, and I just then upload them weekly. There's a link on our homepage to it.
Okay.
And I now upload it under podcast on the current one. See, if on the side, if you scroll down on the sidebar, there's listen to this week's reading a little lower. No, or the one right above it where the book is open. Up.
Oh,
there.
I see.
Listen to, okay. And if you click on that, see, it's so I put them in under podcast.
Gotcha.
And they're MP4s that he sends he also records for the blind.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's been sending them to us for like the last 10 years too.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Perfect.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be able to.
Yeah. I mean, we really don't need all those old ones, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
That
And
I
then
also do a secondary upload of the bulletin via that area too.
the bulletin, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the bulletin company has a widget on the front page, but a lot of our people just like the PDF, and I download that in that same area.
Is this a bulletin?
That's the
Or,
widget from the company.
and this is the bulletin?
Yeah, it should, I think it takes you right to the bulletin, but then if you use the upper bar to bulletin, it will, I upload the PDF of it every week.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I have
Okay.
people that go to it both directions.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah. We'll go through your website in a little bit and
but
see
you know,
what.
if COVID didn't taught us one thing, it's all about that home contact. So,
Yeah. Exactly. And then business, this is, you probably won't use so much of this, but you have the option to. So you probably won't need a restaurant menu or Yelp reviews, but you have the option to use those. But these business widgets are more in your pages. Like if you choose the portfolio or the contact us page, those widgets will be there already embedded. And then let's see here. I wanted to show you Google. Do you use Calendar on the website?
I'm really bad about updating the calendar. I gotta
Okay,
say.
that's fine. I was going to say the option here is Google Calendar, so it would connect to a Google email. And as you start to change it, you'll see here you'll log into your Google email. As you start to change it, it will change automatically. So that is an option.
I should be better about it, but
no worries. No worries.
and of course, right now nothing's going on. So
yep. So I think any questions on the widgets so far? Okay.
I mean, the drop-down menus are all very user-friendly and self-explanatory.
Yeah. Good.
Once you give me my setup, it'll hopefully be golden. It won't be too hard to follow.
Exactly.
You're doing all the hard work as it should.
Alrighty, let's see here. Content.
I gotta say, I do like this Microsoft program better than Zoom.
Oh, Teams? Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't used it before, so.
Yeah, good, awesome.
Okay.
So
well,
business.
My camera all the time. Oh, so close. I want to be back like this far. That'd be good.
So,
want to see my roots? No.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting punchy.
No, you're fine. Business info. So here, this is kind of where we can edit this, but this might be another, other than design, your content, this might be something you'll want to look at too once we're done, but this is where you'll start to add your business name.
Sure.
The Sunday Visitor logo is on, so that's where you'll want to change to your logo, and it'll take it up, it'll change it at the top left corner. So essentially when you change the, so enter in your business info, such as your address, it'll start to change it. And you'll be able to change the phone number, the email. If you want to add social media on here, it'll start to add little icons at the bottom, as you'll see. Business hours, if you wanted to add that. So as you start to change your business info, and then if you wanted to add text about us, it'll start to be added. So we want to add that down here. So we want to change all of that information because it has it down here. So that content is something that you'll want to look at. Business images, our Sunday Visitor, that's the one at the bottom left of the footer. So that's in the white logo. So you'll want to change that. Collections, you probably won't use this, so we won't go over that. Find site content, that one also as well. Site content, this is where you can upload. So this is where I will be uploading your files as well. So content, if you needed to manage your images, they're all going to be here. This is where Radius, you go to media.
Yeah, that's very similar to the old one.
Yep, manage your files. So the nice thing is your images and your files will be separate. So you'll know if you're under your files, you'll know. Here's another place if you use the forms, but we will probably help you with the OSV Hub and get you started there, just because you can download those forms in PDF. But here's another place where you can search the forms if you create a form on this website.
Okay.
Let's see here, my notes. Here is a nice new tool that we have on this. Personalization is a pop-up. So if church was canceled, you can build your own pop-up, as you'll go through the steps. But essentially you want it to be for all devices. So tablet, iPhone, if you want to add your location or a time, you can add that. Display for all visitors. So this is where you're starting to get your settings. Let's see here. Pop-up. We wanted to do a pop-up next. You wanted to pop up on your homepage immediately. So essentially it creates a little pop-up. So when someone, so let's see here, Sunday session canceled, okay, or closed or whatever. Sunday session, if you wanted to add a, reason why, or, winter storm coming or something like that. You don't have to have the little, if whatever you want it, as you can see, it's a little pop-up to your liking. Once you are done and the rule is made, I click done, save rule, Sunday closed or something, you named it, save rule, it saved successfully. So it is ready to be used. Remember to republish your website in order for it to go live. So
but now does that have a limited lifespan, or you can put that on?
You can.
Oh, so there's the deactivate.
Yep. So it'll preview until you choose to let it go. Another place for you to see it, other than personalization, is under pages, and that's where this comes in, pop-ups. Okay. So that's where you can also duplicate it, delete it. But when you click republish, it will start to pop up. So personalization, there's all these different kinds where you can look into and see, but you probably will most likely use the build your own pop-up. And as you saw, it had different options if you wanted to just be a pop-up, or at the top navigation bar where it could give you a little, it'll be at the top. Like it could be in red and it just say, due to weather, Sunday, church is closed.
Yeah.
Let's see here. E-commerce. So this one you actually won't see. This is just on my end. Blog. This is an option where you can start if you have a blog. So that is an option. You might want to, we can look into this a little further, but I don't think, do you have a blog?
We don't have a blogger around at the moment.
Okay.
Although, as I said, when I post those readings, it goes under blog.
So we can create a.
Oh, no, it goes under podcasts. That's right.
Yeah. And then let's see here, settings. You also won't see App Store settings. Yeah. So these are a couple different icons. So your site icons that appear on the browser. So if you wanted to add your church logo, your social media, you probably want to add your logo, your home screen for the tablet, another probably where you want to add your logo. The site URL, once we get published, your domain will show here. So not something that you'll typically need to go to, but this is where your site URL will be. Your site SSL, this is your security certificate. So that's all that is. CEO, this is how people find your web, how you can find in web searches. So if you want, how you want to title your church. Your site description, if you want to add a paragraph regarding the church. So let's see here, Google Analytics, search keys, site keys. So if you wanted to, when someone tries to search your church, if you wanted some some different like Christ or keywords that would Bridget, if they search for Bridget, you'd pop up. Google Analytics. So the stats are built into the site, but if you already have a Google or a Gmail account set up, you can keep using it. So this one is kind of your stats that you already see at the beginning, where we showed you how many people visit your website. Let's see, where are we at? Head HTML. So this one, you probably also won't use as much. If you need anything, I guess if you have an IT person specifically that has any questions about the HTML, they can contact us. Backup site. So in Radius, you know how in Radius you can find you accidentally made a mistake. You can go back and try to get that under pages. So site backup is pretty much when you republish. If you accidentally didn't like that, or you would restore that last republish. So site backup, site language. Again, this is for the site blogs. So we'll want to probably keep it English. So privacy settings. This is if you wanted to turn it on. Sometimes you can turn on. Have you ever sometimes seen, accept cookies on your web browser when you go to a website? You can turn that on if you would like to.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
And then this one, you don't have to worry about that as well. It's already turned on. Nothing to worry about here. But any questions after that?
Yeah, it looks. I can't wait to see it with all our stuff pumped in.
Yeah.
Now you get to do the work.
Yep. Okay, so before we start working on your website,
if there are additional images you need, you could contact me because I might have updated images.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah. And as we start to do this and move along and adding content, I will email you and have you I'll probably send you the link and preview the website and see if that is to your liking and if you want me to change that image, and you can just send me over that image.
Sure.
So a lot of back and forth is about to come.
Okay. So I will be away for a week, so
okay.
You don't hear from me. I'm going to be out of the country for a week, so.
Okay, yeah,
from
that's
next
fine.
Thursday to probably the 10 days. So.
Okay, yeah. So one thing that I might just have, yeah. Where are you going?
I'm going to Belize.
Oh,
to meet my first grandchild.
Oh.
I'm very excited.
Wow.
My new pictures came in while you were talking.
Oh. Well, let's hurry up.
It's all good.
So one thing I might just have you look into is the design and just make sure it's to your liking, the global design, and make sure you like the colors, the color, the forest green. I would just
that's more olivey than forest on my screen. I don't know about you.
Yeah, exactly. So I would look at that for
I like a clean design that's easy to read and follow.
Yeah.
I found particularly with anyone coming to the main thing is the easy navigation and clear reading. So every now and then you try and be fancy and inevitably that bit me in the butt, and I had to go back and make it more simplified again because that's what the users need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just take a look at design. I'll start adding content, and then I will add your business information and see if that's to your liking.
Okay.
So I would just say design is probably one thing that I just want you to look over and make sure it's what you want it to be for the church.
Sure.
So if we want to start looking over, let's look over your website.
And I was just going to say, what I'll do is I'll go into my image library on there and delete stuff that's irrelevant.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So that you have the better stuff. Yeah.
So as we
but see, the fact that it's very easy to go to the broadcast there as you scroll, that's key. My people log on, they want to see the live streaming.
Okay,
So,
let me see here. Live
and
streaming is
the Boxcast app, where it was originally set up, automatically added those upcoming and stuff.
Is this related videos? Is this the live?
Yeah, this is the live streaming coming. Well, actually, I'll delete 3 of those when I get on it right now. Usually I only put the next week coming up, and now I have to program a memorial service, but usually it's the upcoming, and I don't hold old ones on there. It's just my guy who works with us doesn't ever delete, and then I go and delete.
Okay.
Because they don't really need to see the mask from 2 weeks ago, you know.
Gotcha.
But when
So-
with the main display screen where you see that automatically shows the upcoming, that their widget generally shows that whole thing.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe I can find the email from the original installation of it, because
Okay.
that might have their whole code right there, but that's important to me to be on the front page and accessible, because
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a look at this.
Oh, there you can, yeah, there you go.
I'll see if this allows me to.
To copy the whole, because I might, if
copy.
not, I might have the email where we originally set it up, because I know I inserted that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it. If not, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's that one, the upper one. I just, the lower one is a diocesan one. So
Gotcha.
those tend to change, but yeah.
Okay.
As
Okay.
you see, and then my sidebar has my homepage has a bunch of widgets. It's a widgety front page.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it has the donate, the reading, the bulletin. See, that was the safe environment. Click on,
Okay. Perfect.
and that
There's
the
a
video.
YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But again, I put all the crucial on the front page because most people don't go beyond it, unfortunately,
Okay.
unless it's going to religious ed.
So let's talk about what you don't want added to the website if something's old.
Okay.
Do you know if any?
Most of that is all still relevant. I think probably the only thing is the picture galleries, which we haven't updated in forever.
Okay.
And it probably could just go away, tell you the truth, for now.
Picture gallery. Where is that?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking myself. I don't know where it is. In Parish Lake, maybe. Does that? I'm thinking that's where it was.
Ministry.
No, try. No, the ministries you still want. I don't know. I don't know where that is. Let me look at the website online for a second to see where it was.
Okay.
I know somewhere there is this gallery. I don't know where it went to. I wonder if it's one of my dead pages, because I have some dead pages.
Oh. Calendar.
Yeah, I thought it was under Parish Life for some reason, but I'm not.
So I'm thinking maybe the calendar is something you don't want to add. We don't have to add a page for the calendar.
Leave it off for now, and then if I start using it again, I could reinstate it. But
yeah,
because I'm not.
Ministries. Perfect. Online giving.
Yes, it's days.
There's history.
That'll be changing because our pastor's actually about to retire. See, now on the religious ed page, I have a lot of links there in the sidebar too.
Okay.
And those are the current ones. Actually, this Christ is in us, that doesn't have to be there. But
Christ in us, this.
right. Yeah, or the Catholic Brain. I don't think they're using those right now.
Okay.
That was more going on during COVID when they were doing Zoom.
Okay.
But the calendar and the registration form probably should stay.
Okay, registration form, calendar. Okay.
Yeah.
And
those are in my image library because those are images I created and uploaded.
Okay.
So that's so funny. I wonder, does the homepage show a link to pictures? Maybe that's where it was. Let me go to the homepage for a minute. That's so funny because I know they're on there somewhere.
Click the
Shows how
picture
often I
above
look at it,
to
right?
follow link below to report an incident.
Huh. Interesting.
Parish photos, maybe?
Yeah, where's that? Where did you find it?
At the bottom,
Of this page?
homepage at the very bottom, parish photos. It's one of the 6
I still don't even see it.
right here.
Wait, let me go back to you because I'm,
Let me go back.
yeah, see, and these are all really old.
Right above the YouTube video.
Oh, I knew it was on there somewhere. I mean, those are all pretty old.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have new pictures, I would just go ahead and send us a folder of new pictures, maybe.
Yeah, well, we haven't had any events for 2 years because of COVID.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean,
Okay.
I love a lot of those. So
Here's your
I guess I don't. Those
your
are our bulletin. And
bulletin.
again, you know, if there's just a couple weeks, we don't need all the old ones.
Would you like me to just add from like the beginning of this year?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
That'd be fine. We don't need all that.
Welcome. Okay, I see
That's
that.
cool. Yeah.
Be a Catholic, returning. There's your register form.
Mhm.
Learn more.
Oh,
Okay.
go back to the register form for a minute.
Yeah.
Because you know what, on that, one of the things it doesn't seem to do, okay, it does have lists of names and dates of other, for some reason, people always have problems doing it, like they don't include the kids' birthdays or.
And we can require that on the, so they
Yeah.
won't, we'll do that. We'll require.
Yeah, to make that more detailed would help.
Yeah.
Like where it
Okay.
says children there, if it were more like the drop down where the original up at the top there, that would make more sense. First name
Okay.
and then date of birth, and they had that for optional drop downs as opposed to just putting them in that box.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
Oh, I
frequently
see.
the one thing I have to call people and ask, because
Okay.
the children, they don't include it, or the other
Okay.
adults, they don't include it.
Okay. Learn more. I'm assuming these are just links and we can.
Yeah, that's stuff y'all put on in the first place.
Yep. Okay. Our faith.
And I love them, actually. I love a lot of those pages.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good. I like when you guys do the work for us. All good.
Okay. So pretty much,
Yeah.
we'll start to move. I'll start to move everything that I know I can until and then we'll reconnect and see what I couldn't move over and see if you have any other
Okay.
links for it.
Okay.
So the only thing will be I won't move calendar, and then bulletin I will just have up until January, and then pretty
And the
much everything.
podcast, it's the same.
And
The podcast, we're going to cut a lot of the old ones out.
the podcast, listen to this week's.
Yeah,
Is
that.
this right here. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, we
Podcast.
don't need all those.
Okay.
Just the last couple weeks is fine.
Okay.
In fact, he went on vacation, forgot to send me February 1st, so it's not on the first week
I
of
see.
February.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's got a great voice, hasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
MP3. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that pretty well covers it. Now
Okay.
that little Bridget up on top within the logo, that's the one we use as our logo most often.
Okay.
That's like the Bridget, that's the stained glass in our window.
Yep.
So I just photoshopped it down to being smaller. So that whenever it's the church logo, that's usually what I use. And that's
Okay.
in our images, I'm pretty sure. But I will go through the images and eliminate some of the old. And again, it'll be nice to divide the forums because you can see all my PDFs hiding in there too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But there's
Yeah.
quite
Okay.
a few of
Oh,
those
I see
images.
here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what?
Oh, but you could take the
maybe
green off. She doesn't need that. I could upload them without the green background.
that if you could do that. Oh, right here.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, because I thought I used it.
Perfect.
Why there are two? Who knows?
Perfect.
One is,
That's okay.
one's a PNG and one's a JPEG. That's why.
Perfect.
Formats.
Okay, that's perfect. I will use that.
Yeah. Yeah.
For your logo. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else?
No, I think we're pretty
Okay.
good shape.
Awesome. Well,
It was
thank you.
lovely chatting.
Yes, thank you for joining in. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.
And then what I'm gonna do